What do saving the planet and caring for our parents actually have in common? I know, it sounds like a bit of a riddle, right? But the answer connects two of the absolute biggest challenges we face. One is global, the other is deeply, deeply personal. And that answer is artificial intelligence. Just think about that for a second. On one hand, you've got this immense, incredibly complex, planetary scaled problem of climate change. And on the other, you have the quiet, emotional, and very personal challenge of making sure our loved ones are cared for as they get older. I mean, they feel like two completely different universes. And yet, AI is the thread that ties them together. And look, this isn't science fiction we're talking about. This is happening right now. AI is being put to work at both the massive macro level and the tiny micro level of our lives, from managing global systems to, believe it or not, forging personal connections. So let's start big, planet level big. How exactly can a bunch of algorithms and code help us fight something like climate change? Well, first, you really have to wrap your head around the scale of the problem. Now, what's so interesting when you look at a chart like this is how it breaks the challenge down. It's not just one thing we have to fix. About a third of all emissions come from just generating electricity and heat. Then you've got industry and agriculture, each kicking in almost another quarter. The point is, there's no single silver bullet here. You need a tool that can work across all of these different complicated systems at once. For instance, let's just take renewable energy. An AI can analyze just massive amounts of geographical and weather data to figure out the absolute perfect spot to build a new solar or wind farm. It can also create these hyper-accurate weather forecasts that help grid operators manage the fluctuating power coming from those sources. It just makes green energy that much more reliable and efficient. And honestly, it goes way beyond just that. You can think of AI as this master toolkit for the climate. It's being used to predict droughts and hurricanes, which gives us more time to prepare. It's helping design smarter energy grids that can actually manage demand in real time. It's even speeding up the discovery of new materials for things like better batteries, or for capturing carbon right out of the air. And with large language models, yeah, the same kind of tech behind chatbots, scientists can now sift through mountains of climate research in just a fraction of the time. It's a game changer. So, what does all this really add up to? Well, according to a report from BCG and Google, AI has the potential to help mitigate 5 to 10% of all global greenhouse gas emissions by 2030. Now, that is a massive number. It's not going to solve everything on its own, of course, but that is a hugely significant piece of the puzzle. So, we've established AI is a planetary scale tool. It can do these huge things. But what happens when we shrink the focus from the entire atmosphere all the way down to a single living room? This is where our story takes a really different and very personal turn. We're shifting from tackling climate with code to the idea of providing companionship with code. It's happening all over the world. Populations are getting older. And with that comes the very real challenge of elderly care. So to explore this, a recent study in China took a deep look at AI-powered companion robots. These things are designed to help with daily tasks, like medication reminders or connecting video calls to family and even just offering some emotional connection when family can't be there. But this brings up a huge, huge challenge that has nothing to do with circuits or programming. We can build the robot. The real question is, will we accept it? Will we actually trust it with someone we love? I mean, really think about that for a second. It's one thing to trust an AI to optimize a power grid somewhere far away. It's a completely different thing to trust one with your parent or your grandparent. This really gets to the emotional heart of the whole issue. The study actually broke down how a person makes this decision into a pretty clear 4-step journey. It all starts with your basic mindset. Are you just generally optimistic about new technology, or are you skeptical? That then influences how you perceive the robot's value. Like, is this thing actually useful? Is it easy to operate? And those perceptions then shape your emotional feeling about it as you weigh the benefits against the risks. And only after all that, you get to the final decision, yes or no. And the research really boils down to this. That very first step, our technology optimism, is absolutely key. If you start out with a belief that technology can bring positive benefits, you are already halfway to accepting it. Your whole mindset kind of frames the entire interaction before it even begins. And this is where our two stories, the planet-saving AI and the grandma-assisting robot, come crashing right back together. Because it turns out, whether you're deploying AI on a global scale or in a single home, you run into the exact same fundamental promises and the exact same perils. Just look at this. On the climate side, the big hurdles are getting enough good data, having enough trained people, and the risk that an AI hyper-focused on one goal might create some other unintended negative results. Okay, now look at the personal AI side. The risks? Invasion of privacy, the potential for harmful outcomes, and the massive challenge of overcoming our own very human skepticism and fear. Do you see the pattern? Data, safety, and trust. It doesn't matter what the application is. These are the universal hurdles for AI. So we're left with this huge question. AI is here. It's powerful enough to reshape our world, and it's intimate enough to join our families. The real challenge for all of us is to figure out how we manage it, how we build the trust, create the safeguards, and find the wisdom to make sure this incredible tool serves us in all the ways that matter, from the absolute grandest to the most deeply personal.